Hi, I'm Tony. This is SV Tapatya and we are building a cruising sailboat. And what we're building this week is a keel. A steel box filled with lead, roughly 1.3 tons of lead going in this box. And it's very exciting and going well, I'm pleased to report. That is the important thing. Let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, it just needs to sit a little bit higher. It's not bad. It's not bad. stuff. And that's poured in there perfectly. Okay. So let me talk you through the pouring apparatus. Here it is in all its glory. We've got these double A-frames that take all the weight, so the burner itself has not got any weight on it at all. It's just a nice tight fit under the pot. The pot, as you know, is an old gas bottle. I welded a couple of hinges on the sides with two choices of pivot points, but in fact I'm only using the middle ones. Happy with that, it's working well, and a couple of big old 16mm bolts that I happen to have in my scrap pile that go into there. I put a couple of small washers, or not small, I put a couple of washers, 16mm washers on there that the bolts pass through, and that just locates them, stops them sliding to and fro. Then the whole thing pivots nicely. Down in here luckily I had made one too many of the long nuts for the keel box. So I welded one of those on there, and one of my scrap bits of bronze is serving as a very expensive handle to tip the whole thing. Welded a bit of that leftover pipe that I had for the front of the keel box, welded a bit of that on the top here, and cut a dip out of the bottle there, so to get this pouring spout, and the whole thing just, you know, nothing very technical about it, just functions like that to pour. So I'll grab the camera now and give you a close-up look around all of those bits, and you'll see what's going on. So there's the gas bottle, obviously, with the spout on the top, and I fill that, I generally do about half full, I suppose, in one melt. And as I say, a couple of old door hinges welded on the side, you know, shed door hinges, and these 16mm bolts that pass through those washers there. The A-frame supports the whole thing. It's beautifully simple. When I come around here, you'll see the long nut on there, and one very expensive bronze handle, which clearly could be made out of a cheaper material. But it works very well. I've got one of these 11 kilo red propane bottles, which is where you can take the bottle back, get your deposit back. That's doing very well. And with this burner, which is a 10.5 kilowatt burner, it takes, if I only use that, it takes about an hour to melt a pot full of lead, which is a bit on the slow side. So I then invested in this very beautiful apparatus here, which I use around here for burning weeds, but you could use for various things, I suppose, bit of roofing or whatever. And I've got that hooked up to a 5 kilo gas bottle there, and that, when I apply that on the top of the melt with the burner on underneath, and then a bit of that on the top, then I'm getting the melt done in about half an hour, which is excellent. Excellent. And we're getting on very well. And I just scan over the lead a little bit here. Have a look here, you'll see that we're getting there at the front end, getting close to full. Unfortunately here at the back end, luckily it sort of dammed itself midships there, or mid-keel, because I'm waiting for some steel that I ordered 2 weeks ago. I'm going to weld up the back on the outside there to give it some location for the wood that goes on behind there. And I want to weld that on before it fills, and that steel is getting a bit frustrating. It needs to arrive. But there we are. I put the ply template on just a little while ago and checked everything was in line. Had to tweak one or two bolts, but it was basically right. And so far we're looking pretty good. And perhaps I can just share one or two other things that I've learnt along the way with you. That is, so I've got two different sorts of lead, mainly speaking. It's not quite true. I've got a few nice ingots which I've tend to put in, if they're really beautiful clean ingots, I put in as they are and just pour lead around them. But the lead that I'm melting is either roofing lead, flat sheet lead, or old fishing net weights. And the fishing net weights are much cleaner. There's much less slag on the top of the lead. The roofing lead's pretty mucky old stuff. Fair bit of slag. But anyhow, it all melts. And when it's melted, you need to scrape the slag, scrape the scum off the top. And I designed this beautiful device for that, which is a bit of oak dowling and actually a leftover piece of Hazel's stove when we modded that, strapped to the bottom of it for scooping the slag out. And one thing I've learnt with this is that it's kind of helps a lot if you warm this up beforehand. If your lead's at the right temperature, which is she's only just melted according to the fellow that Leo had there, the expert. If your lead's at the right temperature and you put this in cold, the lead solidifies straight onto this metal, and it's a bit of a nuisance. So if you warm it up beforehand, and you want to make sure there's no moisture, so warm it up beforehand, no issue, stays clean, scrapes the slag off. It's just more sort of crumbs that float on the top. Comes off nice and easy. And it's not a very exciting tool. This is a stick. It's just a wooden stick that I use for giving it a stir and a poke between times, and it's all you need really. Quite fast. Our biggest melt yet this one. There's nothing's going to happen. It's completely safe. All good, nothing good. Liquid metal. What about that, huh? Cool, huh?
Yeah.
That's that part there. We just dropped a couple of through hulls out. It's very noisy in the boatyard today. Dropped those bronze through hulls out, ones that were the toilet for Hazel's boat and that we weren't using since we put the composting toilet in. And ground them back and run the glass over them. Good idea. Just wet that out.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that too.
About there, there's our spot, I think. One out. There we go. Wait, that one out. I don't know, just First, put that out. And don't worry about the bits hanging over there, so we should later. And look what's just arrived. The steel that's going to be going down the back of there on each side. I shall be cutting that to length now, welding it on so that I can get on and fill the rest of the box. So we're about to finish here, but next week should be filling the rest of that box, seeing how the lead fits in there, and it looks good so far, but and all the theory says it should fit. We'll see if hopefully I get all of that lead in the box and that fills it up to just, you know, a few millimeters short of the top. The plan is then to seal it with some epoxy to bring it up to the brim. We'll find out next week. All will be revealed to both you and me. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.